Okay, get yourself ready for your morning practice. So sit yourself onto a lift and then come into a good cross-legged position. Just wriggle about on your mat and just find levelness at the seat bones. Hold onto your knees and then elevate the heart area up towards the ceiling. Drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Look forwards, look down. Look at something that doesn't move. Allow your eyes to become still in the sockets. And use the time to just evaluate the balance of the seat bones. Do you feel level at the seat bones, or do you feel unbalanced? So after sitting for a little while, use the moment to assess and adjust if necessary. Adjust the buttock flesh. Draw the buttock flesh out so that you sit on the seat bones. Take some deep inhalations in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. And then release your knees. Bring your hands into Namaste and lengthen from your armpits into your elbows. Elbows into the heels of the hands. Observe the horseshoe shape of the heel of the hand, from the little finger to the thumb. Are the hands evenly connected, or is there more connection around the thumb side or around the little finger side? Try and make that horseshoe shape of the heels of the hands connect to each other evenly. Lengthen the fingers away from the heels of the hands so that the arms respond, they come to life. With an out breath, allow your eyes to gently close and focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Focus on filling the lungs from the bottom to the top. Emptying your lungs from the top to the bottom. With an exhalation, draw your chin down to meet your chest. Just spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area. And then release the backs of the hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb. A gesture of wisdom. A gesture of physical intelligence. And a gesture of peacefulness that we can carry into our practice as an intention, delivering our practice with the wisdom of the sequences we have done in the past, bringing those into the future, into the present, observing the physical body, feeling the physical body in 3 dimensions from the face to the feet. Being conscious of how we are working the physical body and working with peacefulness. So we're not here to punish the physical body, we're here to just bring energy into the physical body. Just raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open. Focus to softly come back. Hold onto your knees and elevate the heart area consciously upwards, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation in through the nose and turn to the right side with the out breath, using each subsequent exhalation to intensify the turn. But we never go into a pose with the idea of just slamming ourselves into the pose. We move into the pose. We ease the physical body into the pose. We listen to the physical body. So there's no activation without observation. So in this pose, turn the abdomen first. Turn the ribs second, the shoulders third. Keep the neck just looking forwards. Feel the body from the feet to the face. And observe how you are working. Are you slamming yourself into 100%? Ease off. Into 95, into 90. Come back to the centre. Hold onto the knees. Lift up into the chest. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the left. Again, do you just slam yourself in or just ease your way in? Turn the abdomen, turn the ribs, turn the shoulders. Work to 95%. Because if you ram straight into 100%, there's no further to go than 100%. If you go to 95%, then there's space for extension. Go to 90%, and then with each subsequent exhalation, just extend 90% more. 90% more every time. Because there's always more that you can do. 100%, that's it. Unless you're on the X Factor and everyone always works at 110%, but that isn't really possible, is it? 90% is plenty. Come back to the centre. Come off your lift and then come back onto your seat bones. Sit back on your heels and have the big toes together and the knees apart. Padangusthasana. So sit back on your heels, wriggle into the inner heels, press the shins into the floor. Press the shins into the floor and then consciously activate the shin bone into the shin skin so that the thighs activate. Activate them at 90%. Everyone go to 100%. If you do 100%, then everything locks. Everything becomes stiff. Everything becomes hard. So go to 90%. And then while you're still working to a really high level, there's gentleness, there's softness. You can hear in my voice that there is none of this. That should never be like that. Just always at 90%. Lift the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone at 90. Come forwards. Come forwards, press the palms into the floor. Hit the seat bones down onto the heels. Lengthen the arms away. And then bring your forehead down onto the floor. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate breaths. Extending at 90%. So there should never be the sense of gripping, the muscles gripping the bones like in a vice. There should be deep extension. But deep extension where maybe you could push further, but if you pushed further you'd be overdoing it. So just finding that level of extension without overextending. So if you're not sure where 90 is, go to 100 and feel how that feels in the body. It doesn't feel good, it feels immediately violent. So ease off a little. So it doesn't mean that you stop altogether. No, by no means. There's underwork and there's overwork. So find the level in between. Come up onto your knees, turn your toes under. Do uttanasana if you're not doing dog down. And then push your hands into the floor. Come up into dog down or stretch the legs away. Lengthen up into the spine for uttanasana. And straighten your legs. Tighten the kneecaps. Press the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Another good indicator of your level of activity is the breath. If the breath feels hard, if it feels difficult to take deep breaths, then you're probably working too hard. If the breath feels staggered or jerky, then you're probably working too hard. Work at a level where the breath can be smooth, that there's smooth edges at the ends of the breath. There's no sudden jolts. It's just inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation that moves naturally into exhalation. So no holding of the breath, allowing the chest to expand with the breath. So find your 90%. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards so that the heels start to separate, so that you can lift the seat bones up towards the ceiling. Just scan the body for areas of redundancy, areas of dullness, and draw your breath into those regions. Draw your attention into those regions. If I'm holding you in the pose for too long and you start to shake or start to feel adverse responses, then you're overworking. So soften or come out of the pose. Walk your feet forwards, come up into a standing position, and then get a couple of blocks for your hands. Half uttanasana, and then bring your feet as wide apart as the mat. Just make sure that your toes line up with each other in front of you. Bring your hands into your hips, and make sure that the heels touch the side of the mat. The little toes are touching the edges of the mat. Using your physical intelligence to know that your feet are in the right position. Your mat can tell you where your feet are. Wing the elbows back. Consciously lift the heart area. And then hinge at the hips. Come forwards, lengthening forwards. And then find the fingertips underneath the blocks. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Projecting the chin and the chest forwards. If you can, come down lower, but again, just observing how that feels for your body. Don't punish the body. You see people in gyms punishing the body all the time, people on kind of weight machines. And, you know, their neck is tight and there's tendons like stretching, like kind of almost exploding from their neck. That's real tension. That isn't actually particularly good for the body. Of course, extension and activation are good for the body. So it's finding that levelness that doesn't kind of release pain signals. There's good pain and there's bad pain. Good pain is just making the muscles come to life, extending them, feeling them stretch. Bad pain is burning, twisting, stabbing. All of those pains are bad pains. You should immediately come out of those bad pain sensations. So 90% just work so that the body finds its level without overworking, without underworking. Underworking is as bad as overworking, because underworking does nothing. Underworking doesn't give the mind an opportunity to draw itself into the body. Underworking is where the mind is somewhere else. It's absent-mindedness within the practice. Bring your hands into your hips, come back up into a standing position, and just come into Tadasana. Have the inner edge of the feet together. Lift lift up into the chest. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards the chest, and then step or jump your feet apart. Just feel where your weight is in your feet. Just hit your legs forward so that your weight goes into your toes. That becomes unbalanced. So hit the legs back so that your weight comes into your heels. Turn the left toes in slightly, the right leg and foot. Pick up the heel and turn the heel so that it lines up with the big toe. And then straighten the legs. Face in the front. And then come down into trikonasana. Looking up. Turn in the front thigh. That right thigh, turning it from the big toe to the little toe side. Doing the same with the back leg. Feeling whether your pose is right leg centric and you've forgotten the back leg, or whether you can even out the action by activating that back leg. But go to your 90 rather than 100. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Gliding into the pose, never slamming yourself in. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Look up if you can. Or you look forwards or down if that's uncomfortable for your neck. Are you collapsing down onto that right hand, or can you reach up into the left hand? Reach up, come back to the centre, swap the feet around, turn the right toes in, left leg and foot all the way out. And then maintaining the action of that back leg, come over, find the shin, look up. Work at 90% rather than 100. So while the body should feel that it's done some exercise after the practice, it should also feel that you have calmed the mind, brought stillness to the body and to the mind. And that doesn't come if you are in a rush, if you're in a hurry. Just be in the moment. Don't be in a rush to move out of the pose unless the pose is causing discomfort or pain. Just be in the moment. Breathe into the moment. Follow the breath. The breath is the conduit to the present moment. Find that lightness of presence. Reach up, come back to the centre, bring the feet parallel, and then step or jump the feet back together. Come back into Tadasana. So just spend a few moments listening to the breath. Feel how the body feels different. Observe your level of action within Tadasana. Are you just collapsing down to the floor? In which case there's zero effort. Or are you lifting out of the floor like a seedling reaching out of the earth towards the sun? Just reach upwards. Taking your time, observing your breath. Listen to the breath. Okay. So get yourself a chair or like a tabletop or something that's kind of with a surface that's kind of, you know, almost up at your hip. So this chair isn't, but if you put a bolster on top, then it's not far off. You don't want it all the way up in as high as your hip. It needs to be kind of just around kind of this area, like kind of halfway down the thigh. And then get yourself a belt. So we can do hasta padangusthasana. Have the feet together, just face the chair. Just you can put the belt around your shoulders for the moment. And then what we're gonna do next is we're gonna raise up that leg and bring the leg onto the lift. Now if that leg is too high, then it's going to make the hip kind of go to a funny angle. So you want to keep the hips level. So you've got to find a level that's high but not too high, that doesn't interrupt the hips. But then you've got to really activate the legs. Okay, so just find a distance where you can stretch that heel away, bring that heel onto the lift, and then just come into Tadasana. Feel where your feet are. Feel where your feet are on the floor. Lift out of the feet into the shins, into the hips, into the thighs. Spread the left toes, but don't let the left toes roll out to the side. Have the big toe in contact at this stage. And then when you raise the leg up, bring the leg onto the lift, trying not to disturb that left foot. Keep the left foot where it is. It will want to kind of roll out like this. Just keep it in Tadasana. Get the belt and then lasso the belt around the foot. Push the foot into the belt and then re-Tadasanaize that standing leg. Turn the front of the thigh inwards. Keep the kneecap tightened. Try and keep your weight back in your heel of that standing leg. Push into the lifted leg. Turn the fronts of the thighs consciously inwards. Hold onto the belt and lift the chest up to the ceiling. Elevating the heart area up to the ceiling. Again, finding your 90. Lifting the heart area. Observing if the breath is smooth. If it's not, you're overworking. If you're not even conscious of it, you're probably underworking. Bring your attention into the breath. Into the physicality of the breath, into the sound of the breath. Okay, you might just want to stay here or cross the belt over and then raise your arms up. So this can make you feel unbalanced, but work that standing leg in Tadasana. Turn the front of the thigh consciously inwards. Turn the front of the lifted thigh consciously inwards. Extend from the hips into the armpits, into the elbows, the wrists, the palms. Find your 90, never 100. Okay, release your leg and then come back into Tadasana. Feel how maybe the legs feel a little uneven. Maybe you've worked more on one side than on the other. It's only normal, so we do the other side to correct that. Just get the belt again, just you can hook that around the back of your neck. And then just re-find your Tadasana. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Tuck the tailbone in. Feel how the feet connect to the floor. And then raise up that left leg. Standing on the right leg. Immediately turning the fronts of the legs inwards, making sure that the foot of that right leg doesn't swing out to the side. Get the belt and then throw the belt around the foot, and then bring the belt around the ball joint of the foot. Push into the foot. Lengthen the heart area upwards. Turn the fronts of the legs inwards. Feel that the hips are level. So you often have to lengthen from the lifted leg, armpit, down into the hip. Get your thumb into the top of the leg and encourage that hip to kind of just rotate outwards, which is the opposite direction to the thigh turning inwards. But just bringing that hip level. Lift the heart area. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And then just cross the belt over and raise your arms. If the legs are secure, if the legs are working firmly but with space to go, then the balance probably feels fairly secure. So keeping those hips level, keeping the thighs turning inwards, are all priorities of the pose. And then gently release. And then bring the foot down, come back into Tadasana, and hopefully the legs should feel a little more even again. Just feel how they extend. Feel the lungs from the bottom to the top, and emptying them from the top to the bottom. Okay, bring the feet hip width apart. Keep the chair where it is, and bring the feet hip width apart and turn your toes in. Come forward, hinging at the hips, and then reach forwards. Try and reach towards the back of the chair, so you might have to move the chair a little. Have the little finger side of the hands on the back of the chair. Press down onto the back of the chair. Activate your legs and hit your legs away from the chair so that you lengthen the spine. Almost like you're trying to pull the chair away, but you're lengthening from the hips into the hands. So feel that length of the side of the ribs. Tighten the kneecaps, turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, lift the seat bones. Working at 90. 90 gives you a feeling of lightness. Focus on the breath as well as the feeling of the physical body. If you throw yourself into your yoga practice, there should be no opportunity really for the external thoughts to intrude. There's plenty to occupy the mind. Of course, external thoughts do intrude, but just draw your attention, let it float away. Draw your attention back into the physical pose, working at 90 rather than 100, lengthening the spine out. Hitting the legs away from the hands, keeping the head lifted, looking forwards towards the hands. Okay, and then come back into a standing position, come back into Tadasana. Maybe it feels like you really stretched your back out. So breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate breaths. Okay, so we're going to do a little spinal twist. We're going to stay with the chair, but we're going to do it standing up. So again, have the inner edge of the feet together, and then bring your right foot up onto the chair. So I'll turn around so you can see me better. So bring your right foot up onto the chair. But at the same time, don't disturb that standing leg. So keep that standing leg in Tadasana. Again, just feel that the hips are level. Find your balance. So have the feet. Ideally, you've got the inner edge of the feet kind of next to each other, as in, like, obviously not directly next to each other, but if they were next to each other, they would be kind of together. Or you could, if you need a bit more balance, bring this leg out that way. Lift up into the chest. Lift from the hips up into the armpits. Find your 90. And then bring your left hand around to the outside of the right thigh. Bring the right hand into the small of the back. Lengthen the spine up to the ceiling. And then draw the abdomen across. So turn in towards the right side. Drawing the abdomen across, the ribs across, the shoulders across. Giving yourself a good turn. And then come back to the centre, and then bring the feet back. And when you bring the feet back, hopefully that foot, you don't have to adjust the left foot. The left foot was already there in waiting. So just bring the feet back into Tadasana, inner edge of the feet together, and then lift the left leg this time. So lift that left leg, have a quick look, make sure you haven't turned those toes out to the side, that they are still in position. Have your hands on your hips, stand on the standing leg, turn the front thigh inwards. Feel that the hips can come level. Often this makes this bent leg hip kind of rise up a little bit so that it could become uneven. Get the thumb, draw the thumb into the very top of the thigh and rotate it downwards a little. Lift up into the chest. Find your 90. And then bring the right hand across to the outside of the left thigh. Bring the left hand into the small of the back and then rotate. Draw the abdomen across. Draw the ribs and the shoulders across. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, finding your 90. "90 is a level you can sustain. 100 isn't. You can only sustain 100 for a little while. You can sustain 90 for much longer. Back to the centre. Just bring the feet together. Lift up into the chest. Feel the lightness of the upper body. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Okay, just move the chair back onto the mat, and we're just going to use that to bring our legs onto. So come down onto the floor and bring your legs onto the calves onto the seat of the chair, and then bring yourself down. If your head rolls back, or just for comfort, you can put a folded blanket underneath your head. Just stretch your arms out, so move all of the equipment out, stretch your arms out to the sides of the room, and allow the back to rest into the floor. This is always really nice for bad backs, just softening out the back. So the legs on the chair gives you softness in the back. So we've been working at 90%, and actually I don't know where the time's gone actually. When you work with the intention to work efficiently but without overworking, then lightness comes into the pose. You can hold it for longer because you're not exhausting yourself. It takes a while to really find your 90%. But as with all things, I think yoga is a good metaphor for life. And if only in an interview, if you said, I'll give this job 90%, people would recognise that actually that is the optimal number. Because if you just go hell for leather at everything you do, you just exhaust yourself and there's no longevity. At 90, you work with sustained focus and concentration, and you never exhaust yourself. You just find new energy. So working at 90 is a really good metaphor for our lives. Of course, no one wants 90% of a birthday cake decorated. Nobody wants 90% of, anything. But that just working at 90 doesn't mean that you don't finish anything. It means that you finish more. So 90% isn't an excuse for not completing things. But working at 90% means that you complete more without exhausting your own energy. Just taking your time. Taking your time gets things done right. You do it with mindfulness. Just allow the body to rest into the floor. Just feel the softness in the back and the lumbar. So this is a gentle inversion which helps to bring quietness to the brain. Brings benefits to the immune system. But it's a sustainable inversion, requiring, you could say, minimal effort, but be fully engaged in the sensations of the physical body. Feel the body in 3 dimensions. Feel the skin. Feel the muscles. Allow the physical body to be in the pose. In the pose 100%. Because that isn't effort, that is focus. through the nose and out through the nose. And maintain your attention fully on the sensations of the physical body. Feeling the air touching the skin. Feeling the body in contact with the floor. One of the benefits of being in contact with the floor is how we ground our energy. We bring levelness, connection to the ground is a really important way of our settling our energy for the day. So feel the earth beneath you. Feel the planet beneath you. Be thankful for everything that is around you. Be thankful for the ground, for the floor, for this opportunity to ground your energy. Okay, everyone, bring your knees in towards your chest. A little rock from side to side, and then, avoiding the chair, hopefully roll over onto your right side. And then sit yourself up. Just move your chair out of the way. And then come back down onto the floor into sirvasana. Make sure you're in a really good straight line. It's only for a couple of minutes. Just re-grounding the entirety of the body, making sure that you're in a good straight line. Let the body relax into the floor. Feel the smoothness of your breath. Let the body unhook from the muscles. The arms and the legs unhook from the muscles so that the physical body becomes heavy on the ground. Observe from that relaxation the lightness of energy that radiates from the bones, filling the muscles, radiating into the organs. Radiating into the organs and the flesh and the skin. Use your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute that feeling of energetic lightness evenly down into the toes, into the fingertips and up into the top of the head. Just basking in that feeling of energetic lightness. Wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers. Bring yourself back into this pose of shavasana. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. Have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. Just a gentle massage on the spine. And then roll over onto your right side. Just stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Coming back into crossed legs with the hands in Namaste, a final spinal lift. Draw your breath down into the abdomen and be conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists and the inversions bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to seek to acknowledge the positive energy you've created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb, just a gesture of wisdom, of physical intelligence and peacefulness that we can carry with us into our day as an intention. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you feel as though you've really stretched yourself out, giving yourself good energy and lots of good energy to put into your day. So thank you very much for joining me.